Okay, so I know that you're probably very likely familiar with Canvas. I'm not as much. You are able to utilize it for bases like this, but I wanted to just to walk you through the different options on integrating MindTap then into Canvas and how that looks, and then we can work from there. So I have created just a couple modules, but what I'm going to do first is I am going to go to the Settings tab because I actually need to bring Cengage into. I'm going to go to Navigation, pull it up here so it's in my navigation list on the left side. That's going to be my first thing. At that point, I can go to my home tab. Again, my Cengage is right here, and I can click Cengage. Now, the first thing that it's going to ask you to do, if you don't see this content selector, at some point it's going to ask you for your Cengage username and password, and that's just so that we can marry the course into for you if you've already customized it through Cengage. So I'm going to say wood and see if our book's in here. Okay, so our book is not in here, which would mean this is perfect because what this would mean is if you actually did this and you don't see the book, that would mean that it's not deployed to the class. So I would need to still deploy it to the class. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just pick any of these here just as an example, but essentially you would have picked the wood book and moved forward from there. So it's just going to take a second to load the content. Now, at this point here, again, I know this is not your book, but at this point, if you've already created your course in Cengage, you would go to copy from an existing course. Your course would be listed right here, and you would click the course and go to continue. But I'm just going to go to create a new course. You actually are able to do that as well. You can create the new course, and you're going to be following through the same prompts that you would get because you actually need to rename the course now because the other one would be a copy. So you're copying essentially a course, but you have the option to create directly through Canvas or through Cengage and pull it over. So in this method, I'm creating directly through Canvas. I'm just setting some arbitrary start and end dates, my time zone, and I go to continue. Now, my next question is going to ask me how I want to sync the gradebook. There are two opportunities to integrate Canvas or MindTap into Canvas. The first would be a course level link, which is what I'm going to select now. I'm going to explain the other one in just a second. So that would be just one overall score for MindTap. So I'm going to say continue. And now MindTap, my course is in MindTap. It's imported. I have it right here. If I click into this, it's going to take me into MindTap just like I've seen it, just like I'm used to it. If it's the course I've already created, that's the one it's going to take me into. But my course as a whole is right here. Now, if you were to do the if you were to do just the course level link, which is what I selected, students would again go to your course within Canvas. They would find the course and then they would be directed into MindTap via Canvas. This would create one gradebook column for all of the MindTap assignments. But you could always go into MindTap and see the individual assignments. But as far as Canvas is concerned, that is one grade. Now, the other way you could do it, which actually takes a little bit more work, but it integrates the assignments into your modules or however you've set up your own Canvas account, is I would go to Cengage again on this side of the page, and now I have my content selector, and it's actually going to pull up the content, but in the form of being the individual assignments. So if I've already customized the individual assignments, those would also, that's what would be here is the customization, is that customized assignment. If there is, I've selected a book, look at with no grade book. Oh, here, that's what I have to do. I'm sorry. At this point, I can actually add all these to my course in this way, but they won't filter into the grade book. I need to go to activity score. This is now going to give me a grade book score for each of the MindTap assignments. So now for anything that is gradable, I have the ability to add a column to the gradebook with those. So for instance, I'm going to say that I want, let's see, okay, I clicked it too many times. Okay, I want the chapter 1 interactive quiz. I'm going to pull that over, and I always suggest pulling things over bits at a time because otherwise you're going to have too much to deal with. So if you're going to do it in this way, I'm going to pull over the chapter 1 quiz, and I'm going to pull over the video assessment. I say confirm, telling me what's pulled over, what will go to the gradebook, and I say save. And now it's going to give me the individual assignments linked rather than that one course link. At that point, I would probably hide that first course link because students would just, so they're directed directly into these course links. And that then is where I would move my chapter 1 into week 1 right here. And then students are clicking on the individual assignments. I might move this one into week 1 as well. So you get the idea. So I can actually then organize everything by assignment rather than just having that one MindTap portal where students would go. So that's essentially the difference in MindTap integration levels. Obviously, when you're linking the individual assignments, every time you go to the Cengage tab now, you can pull those assignments over. It does take a little bit more time, but I believe that when you teach the course the next term, you can easily just copy everything right over into the next course. But again, making sure that you are adding the individual assignments that you want. So then when students actually click into the assignment, it is going to take them directly into that assignment rather than MindTap as a whole. So again, those are the two options. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, these are just kind of overviews on how to access it. I'm on campus a lot if you want to talk about this more in person and work through how it would work for the class. Um, as far as pricing goes, MindTap on its own for this course is $50. The bookstore will have a bundle that will have the loose leaf version if that's what you submit to the bookstore. I can give you that market or the net price on that, which I think is $70, and then they'll mark it up. But if you have any questions, let me know. And when students log in for the first time, they will be given the prompt to either access for free for the 2 weeks, enter the access code from the bookstore, or pay directly. So again, let me know what questions you have.